Hey guys, I'm Jeff and you're watching Valley Fish. This video is going to be about yesterday when we took the RL144 Plecos. I got 4 of them. I've grown them up in a 10-gallon hex, so basically they just came from an auction. I wanted to do a small quarantine before I added them to this tank. I haven't had any issues with them. They're about 2 inches. I see one there, there. So they're doing good for getting bounced around yesterday. Tank has all kinds of algae on the glass. I don't scrape the glass. I haven't for a while. The goal is that they'll get that cleaned up for me, and we'll get some size on them and hopefully get a pair out of them. But what we're going to do in this video is we're going to be picking them out of the hex. I'm going to try and make it as interesting as I can from the video that I was able to collect, but I got a feeling it's going to be one of those videos I post and all I do is lose subscribers. So, bear with me. It just kind of probably shouldn't even have recorded it, but I did anyway. So, hopefully there's a few out there that enjoy it. But you'll get a glimpse of them. Like I said, they got some growing up to do. And I'll show you the video. And then we'll jump to something different. So I was thinking that it was not going to be that hard to catch 4 little plecos in a 10-gallon hex. Pretty much had a whole bunch of pots at one time in this tank. Pull all them out. This pot has 2 little stowaways, which, yeah, I don't know. We'll leave them in there. 4th one's on the back glass. Anyways, pretty much complete teardown, which I was going to get to this tank anyways, but I thought I'd be able to scoop them out. Wrong. Alright, so that little cup of ADA soil that I had the 2 plecos in, ended up having to slosh that all out in the bucket because one of them buried himself down in there. So, back to cleaning the bucket up so you can see them. Okay, well, I ended up changing buckets on these guys and switching the water. Reason is just give them one final rinse of the water that they came from. But I didn't see any problems while I was quarantining them in the 10-gallon, so I'm not expecting to see any. These guys are going to be going in the Nebula Steel tank. They're just super pretty. I like how clean they are. I don't know if they're true, the L144s, I believe, but that's what they were sold to me as. So I'm going to try long term to get some more to add, just a little mix up the genetics, but they're pretty. And I'll like I said, we're doing a water change right now. Zoom back. So this is the Nebula Steel tank. Currently doing a siphon. And I got that running outside to the drain. So, I don't know. Gotta get this tank top back off. Like I said, I'll give you some updates of them in the tank. Hopefully catch them. And there is one albino Pleco that I put in here, and I'll show a video of him. He is eventually gonna have to find a new home, but we'll he's actually right there. So the glass is super dirty. I'm gonna leave it that way. I did that on purpose because I tried to add some baby Bristlenose Plecos into this tank, and they just were ever too scared to be around the guppies. So the one that wasn't scared, he ended up becoming a monster. He's the one that's currently in there. But these blue eyes are pretty much about the same size he is, so I don't think I'll have a problem. Alright, so I'm just about ready to stop the siphon and the albino Pleco come out, and you can see how big he is. And just for reference, I'll show the ones that didn't grow up in the Dirty 29. the same batch of him, and they're just still super tiny. So he has definitely enjoyed the luxury of a dirty tank. He's awful pretty. I think, I don't know, too young to tell, but looking like a female so far. But like I said, probably too young to tell. I'm going to get the siphon stopped and get this top back off, and then get these guys transferred over. So, as I transfer them, I know it's probably not showing up, but I got the water level really low. I just let them swim in my hand, and one at a time, they get introduced. So that's how I transfer them. It's going to be a little easier than netting them. Anyways, so you got to get all of them on the same side of the bucket, because there's not much water. And I know the video is probably not the greatest, but I'm sure everybody understands, and if you don't, too bad. So, I know people can grab them. I'm not good at grabbing plecos, so I try not to. Come on. Start swimming. Ah, I missed him. Come on. They're up to they know the trick. Well, it seems like when I slosh the water, it really makes them want to go, but alright, there's another one. Whoop. Seems like he's pretty happy. Sorry for the shakiness. I don't know if this will make it in, but 2 more to go. Woo, that one's swimming. Alright, well, I can't do both at the same time, so we're going to have to cut it. Whew. Well, that was kind of interesting. Never transferred plecos that big before, actually. So, the last 2 are pretty stubborn, so what it is, just went out and poured the bucket into my hand, and when the water was running, they got excited to get in the current, and then grabbed one as he was coming out of the bucket, and basically was just holding my hand up as a cup, and they that worked out pretty well. Definitely in the comments, let me know how you transfer your plecos, because that method seemed to work as long as you could get the current going. But anyways, I probably won't be moving them anytime soon, so definitely didn't have to net them again, so nobody was sticking in the net, so that was the main thing. So anyways, back to filling it up. So we're just about ready to where I can plug the heater back in. This is about the only tank that I run a heater on, and it's because it sits on the back porch, which is super cold, and it sits right in front of the window. So during the winter time it gets pretty cold, but the heater is able to keep it in check. So one thing is kind of cool about this tank is I get these Amazon sword runners all the time, and you can see this one's actually grown immersed out of the water, and it doesn't have roots, so when they shoot up out of the water they don't have roots. But this one's cool. Look at that, up out of the tank over against the light, and all the bloom just died, but yesterday it was blooming. So I do have a picture of that. I'll probably throw that in there somewhere. But Amazon swords, I thought about doing like a terrarium or something and snipping them off, but I don't know how well that'd work. But anyways, out of the tank, across the light, and the reason I got this T12 light kicked over is it lights up my skid tank. These guys are going to get their water changed today. Update for you guys that follow along. That Macaranda I put in there pretty much didn't take, but the Physidin moss is pretty much doubled, if not more. So what I'll do is, because it's such a small tank, once this thing gets up and runs for, you know, a few hours and gets well mixed, I'll put a airline tube in the back of the hang-on back, and drape it across, then do a slow water change. So these guys get tank water, not tap water, so makes it a little easier on my skids. It is kind of fun while I got the water level low. All these little markings in the algae. That's my hill stream loach. He's busy. He likes the dirty tank. But with these new plecos in there, that front glass should be about spotless in about a day or two. So kind of funny to see him working. He was out earlier. I didn't ever get video of him. I probably should. I've had that hill stream loach for about 5 years. He does a pretty good job working on the glass for me. Pretty cool. There it is. Num 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 num. Okay, so now that this is going to become a Pleco tank, this is maplewood chunks that I cut last year and I let dry out. The Plecos sure love them. Couple over there, couple over there. They're gonna float for a few days, and then they'll sink, and gives the Pleco something constantly to graze on. And the shrimp love them too. Currently no shrimp in this tank, but the Plecos will find them and like them, and they'll keep them nice and clean. So, comparison, thumb. The other ones are just barely the length of my thumb, so he's way bigger. Doing good. He has been super happy because he's found the other Plecos. So he's constantly like, hey, 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 you're like me. So he's pretty happy having friends. So right at the moment I feel bad moving him to a tank where he's by himself again. But so I'm going to leave him in here. I'll probably move him out before they start breeding. But the other ones haven't quite came out yet. There's one blue eye back there hanging out. Been working on the glass a little bit. Here's the albino again. And don't know where the other ones are. Alright guys, so we got the aquarium temp back up to normal. So the little cool water change. That guy there, it's gonna be an RL144. There's a blue eye down here eating a green bean. Another one back here cleaning up a little algae I got on the back wall. So kind of excited that 3 out of the 4 are already up front. The little albino guy, before I grabbed the camera, is out here running around. He's all excited he's got new buddies, so I'm gonna leave them together for a while. I was just looking for that 4th one, but who knows? They're probably buried in the valve. But just to give you guys an idea, the tank don't look too bad. When I was recording earlier during the day, the algae looks really bad, but when you get all the extra light off and get it lit up, it's manageable. So I just seen one of them darting across the tank, and it took my attention away. But anyways, so this tank is probably on the verge of a redo. Maybe a summer project, do redirt, maybe think about some different plants. But the other thought was pulling the guppies and maybe doing a shrimp tank out of it. So I'd probably get a couple more years out of it if I went that route. But anyways, that's where we're at. We got Plecos in it now, and we'll have to see how they do.